Well, if you watched our last video, we left our beautiful campsite rather abruptly because of, well, we didn't feel comfortable there after we think that somebody tried to break into our vehicle. But anyway, let me show you this place. This is called Dark Sky Campground Road in the National Forest. And the reason they call it that is because just about a quarter mile down that road is the Cosmic Campground. Now, what the heck is that? I'm going to tell you. Cosmic Campground International Dark Sky Sanctuary is the first international dark sky sanctuary located on National Forest System lands and also in North America. It is one of only 14 certified IDA sanctuaries in the world. International dark sky sanctuaries are lands possessing an exceptional or distinguished quality of starry nights. This campground offers a 360-degree unobstructed view of the night sky for exceptional stargazing opportunities. This site is situated where the nearest significant source of artificial light is more than 40 miles away and across the state line in Arizona. Yeah, we're in the middle of nowhere. As usual, I do expect it to get a little dark tonight, and I also expect that with these clear blue skies, there should be a good view of the stars tonight. But I know where it's better. The most stars that Linda and I have ever seen was from the deck of our 28-foot sailboat out in the middle of the ocean. And you would be amazed at how many stars there are in the sky that you can see in a situation like that. They're not just stars speckled on the sky. It's solid stars in the sky. That's quite something to see. And just a pair of simple binoculars makes it so you can see the sky a lot better. Even from here tonight, just with simple binoculars, it should be pretty spectacular. We're going to see what we can see in the night sky. Now, in a few minutes, we're supposed to be able to see the space station to the northwest. And it's only going to be visible for a few minutes. But with these mountains around us, we don't know because it's pretty low in the sky. And of course, we're using red lights so we don't hurt our night vision. I mean, when you're at the Cosmic Campground, what the heck are you supposed to do? Well, we did get to watch the space station go by, and that was pretty cool. It was like a really bright satellite moving pretty fast through the sky. One time I was flying from Wolf Point, Montana, heading west across the high line of Montana. And I had these really bright lights coming at me, and I got a hold of center and I says, "What's this traffic in my area?" They said, "There is no traffic in your area." I says, I see like an airliner coming right at me with its landing lights on. They says, "Nope, nothing there." It was a space station coming right at me. And it was bright. It was like headlights coming right at you. Well, it wasn't like that tonight. It was like a bright satellite, but it was to the north of us.
Yeah, moving fast too.
It's gone. Well, I have to admit, this is the most stars I've seen since those nights on the ocean so many years ago. Well, the last couple of days, Linda and I were at a National Forest campground just on the north side of Payson, Arizona. It was Houston Mesa Campground, and we spent 2 days there. We needed to get a video edited, and we spent our time doing that and taking care of some chores. Now, though, we're in the Coconino National Forest, just on the northeast side of Strawberry, Arizona. This is just a random Forest Service road off of Highway 260, I believe. And we just pulled off until we found a dispersed camping spot. And in Arizona, there's a lot of dispersed camping. Just nice, clean spaces for the most part, not always. In this particular spot, we get just a couple of hours of direct sun during the day, which I think is just enough to keep the batteries up as long as we don't use too much. And I got a minimal amount of Starlink, so we can get a little work done if we want to. There's not too much Starlink because the trees are so tall. But it'll do because we have to sit tight for a couple of days because we're expecting an important general delivery package in Camp Verde day after tomorrow. Well, we had a very pleasant night last night, absolutely quiet. Of course, there are 0 people back in here. This is not off a main road or anything. It's just a narrow little 2-track back into the National Forest. But I flew the drone this morning and I saw down the road, it looks like what could be a very beautiful place to camp. So Linda and I are going for a walk and we're going to go check it out. It's very pleasant in here. It's peaceful, it's quiet, and dry and open, and it smells nice, and there's lots of dispersed camping here, unlike Montana. I've done videos in the past showing how Montana has closed off all of its national forest roads. You have the one main road that goes through, and all the branch roads are all closed off. But we haven't found that to be true in New Mexico and Arizona. The national forest roads are all very open. That makes this a nice place to come because there's plenty of places to go explore. I've had family living in Arizona literally for generations, going way back, and used to live here myself when I was a child. But I just love to come down here and visit. I was just remembering how, as a child, my family didn't have air conditioners back then. We had swamp coolers, which in this dry heat are very effective. They work really well. Yeah, that was the days before air conditioning, I guess. You ever heard of the submarine house?
Submarine house?
Yeah.
I've heard of submarine races. I don't know what those are.
Would you like to explain what a submarine race is?
I just said I
You
don't
don't know.
I don't know. But what's a submarine house?
Well, I think it was here in Arizona. They built a house, and it was like a Quonset hut style. And then they covered it in some kind of mesh, and then they would drip water through that mesh. The entire house was covered in this mesh. And then they dripped water through the mesh and it kept the whole house cool. It was one big swamp cooler.
My goodness.
It was called the submarine house because it was basically underwater. Now, let's not talk about submarine races. We'll let people make some comments on that. They'll tell you what that is.
I have no idea.
So do you guys know what a submarine race is? I don't know. Maybe that's just something from my...
Other than 2 submarines racing, I don't know what it is.
Submarine race is not something we want to talk about on this channel. Yeah, according to what I saw on the drone this morning, there's some pretty neat places to camp up here. Now, there's a lot of Forest Service roads in this area and all over. So you just need to get a map out and know where you're going, that's all.
And they're all marked at the beginning anyway.
See, this cleared spot here showed up on satellite image. You can tell it's a campsite. And I think we're up at the cliffs here. We're going to go explore. Oh, look at this.
You know, that's kind of...
Is that agave?
I don't know.
It's pretty.
It grows... Something like that grows like, except more gigantic than that. In Hawaii, I call it a century plant. This, I guess this is a agave.
Yep.
Is that what they make tequila from?
Yep. Can't really get a view here, so we're going to walk down the road a little further. As you can see, here's a large area to camp. Well, we were told that up here in this area you can find rocks that contain fossils of sea creatures. So even though we're at 7,200 feet, this was all underwater at one time. Linda's trying to get me lost. Oh, there's a old signs of an old campfire down here. Boy, you would not want to start any sort of a fire now at all. It is so dry. That's not a campfire, that's just a stack of wood.
It's a
Bigfoot.
teeny tiny shelter.
Yeah, Bigfoot must have done that for his pet rabbit. Yeah, the National Forest Service said don't do anything, not even a spark, nothing. Be real careful right now here. Isn't this a beautiful spot to camp? Wow! Well, as nice as it is in this spot with the cliff and everything, we've decided just to stay where we're at. So we're going to go back to camp and make lunch. But man, there's places to camp all along this road.
And
the other roads in the forest
this
here.
particular area has room for a few outfits.
Anyways, my suggestion is you research it on Google Earth and look at these Forest Service roads and find one that looks interesting to you. Oh, by the way, one thing we did notice is that the roads are gated, but the gate is unlocked and sign says, please close the gate on the National Forest roads here in Arizona, anyways, in this part of Arizona.
Yeah, that's been nice because a lot of places we go to, the National Forest road is gated, and you're allowed to go in and camp, but it's gated for the cattle.
Right, and there's nothing that really lets you know that you can go through, but when it says, please close the gate, well, then you know you can go on through. Anyways, we're going back to camp for lunch.
Yeah.
Well, I just watched a Class C through the trees over here coming in off the highway, and this is not a road for Class Cs. There's deep ruts that are 18 inches deep, and they're all over. And I don't know what happened to him. I'm hoping he turned around. I walked down there and I didn't see him anymore, and my hope is that he turned around and went back out. But my point is that these Forest Service roads aren't for a motorhome or a Class C or something. They're rough. You need a pickup truck or a high clearance vehicle, high clearance trailer. You can get in here with a van, but yeah, pretty easily with a van as long as it's not raining or anything like that. Definitely not a Class C. So you guys, I'm sorry, when I show you where we're camping, I should talk about the roads. Okay, Forest Service roads around the Coconino National Forest, kind of risky taking in a Class C unless it's an established road and not just a road going out through the trees. You got to be careful about that. You know, you don't want to get stuck out here. So what I mean is you don't want to bring a Class C or a motorhome down an unmaintained road. I think all of you know that, but I just saw one come in and have a hard time turning around and getting back out again. So not all y'all know it. Well, Linda and I are just about ready to get back on the highway. We just made it off of the Forest Service Road. We're heading into Camp Verde because of something special for Linda. She had her eye surgeries done and had her cataracts replaced and some other things. And we're going to pick up...
You said I had my cataracts replaced.
She had her cataracts fixed. Anyways, her glasses are showing up, her new glasses, and that's why we've been hanging out here. And we're going to go pick them up, general delivery.